What would you do if the moment you laughed for the first time in 5 years was because you caught someone lying? And what if that lie changed your entire life? But before we begin this powerful and emotional story, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another amazing story. Trust me, this one will make you laugh, cry, and believe that love sometimes appears in the most unexpected places. Now sit back, relax, and let's begin the story of Benson and Christabel. The mansion of Benson Cole stood quietly in one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Lagos. It wasn't just a house, it was a statement. The gate alone looked like it belonged to a private palace, tall black steel with gold patterns shaped like African tribal art. As the gate slid open automatically, a long driveway revealed a breathtaking modern mansion surrounded by trimmed palm trees and soft landscape lighting. Inside, the house looked like something out of a luxury design magazine. The living room had polished Italian marble floors that reflected the warm glow of hanging chandelier lights. A massive cream-colored sectional sofa sat around a low glass center table. On one wall hung a giant abstract African painting, splashed with gold, red, and deep black. The space smelled faintly of sandalwood and expensive cologne. But despite all the beauty, the house felt empty. Too quiet, too cold, because the man who lived there no longer knew how to feel joy. For 5 years, Benson Cole had not laughed. Not once. Ever since the day he lost his wife in a tragic accident, life had become mechanical. Wake up, work, attend meetings, sign contracts, return home, repeat. His staff had grown used to his silence. His driver had never heard him laugh. His business partners respected him, but nobody really knew him anymore. The man had built an empire, yet his heart remained locked in the past. Another morning. The next morning, Benson walked down the floating staircase of his mansion, dressed in a perfectly tailored charcoal suit. His house manager, Mrs. Adeyemi, greeted him. "Good morning, sir." He nodded slightly. "Morning." She placed a tray of breakfast on the dining table. Fresh fruit, toast, eggs, and coffee. Benson barely touched it. He only drank his coffee. Then he picked up his phone and checked the stock reports of his companies. One of his assistants approached carefully. "Sir, your 10 a.m. meeting with investors has been moved to tomorrow." Benson nodded again. "Fine." His driver soon arrived outside with the car. Waiting. A sleek black Bentley Mulsanne, one of the rarest luxury cars in Nigeria. Benson walked outside without speaking and entered the back seat. "Office," he told the driver. "Yes, sir." The car glided out of the compound. Lagos traffic. The city of Lagos was already alive. Street vendors walked between cars selling bottled water, plantain chips, phone chargers, and newspapers. Motorcycles weaved dangerously between vehicles. Horns blared everywhere. Suddenly, traffic stopped, completely. The driver sighed. "Ah, sir, third mainland traffic again." Benson didn't respond. He simply looked out the tinted window, lost in thought. Then something caught his attention. A young woman moving between cars. She looked injured. Her face was covered in thick bandages. One arm hung in a sling. Her head was wrapped with white cloth. "Please help me," she begged weakly. "Accident victim. Anything you can give." Most drivers avoided her eyes. Some rolled up their windows quickly. She moved car to car, stretching out a small bowl. Finally, she reached the Bentley Mulsanne. She tapped gently on the window. Benson looked at her carefully, very carefully. He studied the bandages, her posture, her movement, the way she shifted her weight. Something felt wrong. Then his eyes moved to the side of the bandage. A tiny red stain. He stared closer. Jam. Strawberry jam. For a moment there was complete silence inside the car. Then suddenly, Benson burst out laughing, loudly. The driver nearly jumped out of his seat. "Sir?" Benson kept laughing. His shoulders shook. Tears almost formed in his eyes. Outside the window, the girl froze in confusion. She had expected pity or rejection, but laughter? She frowned. Benson lowered the window slowly. "Come here," he said. She stepped closer. "What is funny, sir?" she asked suspiciously. Benson pointed calmly. "You tied your bandage like someone wrapping suya meat." She blinked. "What?" "And your sling," he continued, barely holding his laughter. "Your arm is inside the wrong way." Her eyes widened. "And that bloodstain," he added, "that's strawberry jam." The girl stood frozen. Traffic horns blasted behind them. For a few seconds she said nothing. Then she sighed deeply. "Okay, fine," she muttered. Benson leaned back, amused. "So, what's your real story?" She hesitated. "I really had an accident." Benson raised an eyebrow slowly. She stared at his calm face. Something about his expression told her he already knew the truth. Finally, she removed the bandage covering her cheek. Underneath was smooth caramel skin. Beautiful, natural. She looked embarrassed. "My name is Christabel Okoye," she said quietly. "I graduated with first class in economics." "Impressive," Benson said. "No job." "Less impressive." She sighed. "My mother has been sick for months in hospital." Her voice trembled. "She needs surgery, and we have no money." Benson watched her silently. "I begged relatives. Nobody helped. I asked people online. They said I was lying." "So you decided to fake an accident?" he asked. She nodded slowly. "I was desperate." Benson looked out the window for a moment, then back at her. "And where is your mother now?" "At Mercy Care Hospital." Benson opened the car door. "Get in." Christabel stepped back immediately. I don't enter stranger car like that." Benson stared at her. "You were begging strangers 5 minutes ago." She folded her arms stubbornly. "You might be a kidnapper." The driver tried not to laugh. Benson sighed. "Fine. Stay outside and continue your Oscar-winning acting." He began closing the door. Christabel quickly jumped into the car. "Wait!" Benson smirked. "Driver," he said calmly. "Yes, sir?" "Mercy Care Hospital." Christabel stared at him in shock. For the first time that day, she wondered who this strange man really was, and she had no idea. That moment would change both their lives forever. The black Bentley Mulsanne moved slowly through the busy streets of Lagos. Inside the car, silence filled the air. Christabel Okoye sat stiffly at the edge of the seat, holding the small bowl she had used for begging. Her fake bandages were now in her lap. She kept glancing nervously at the man sitting beside her. Benson Cole looked completely relaxed, scrolling calmly through his phone, as if he hadn't just picked up a stranger from the street. Finally, Christabel cleared her throat. "So, are you always this calm when picking random girls from traffic?" Benson didn't look up. "Are you always this dramatic when begging?" She frowned. "I wasn't begging." He raised an eyebrow. "You were collecting charity with theatrical performance." She rolled her eyes. "Same thing." The driver chuckled quietly. Christabel looked around the luxurious interior of the car. The seats were soft cream leather. A small refrigerator sat between them, with bottled water and juice. Soft lighting glowed along the sides of the doors. She touched the seat carefully. "This car alone can build 3 houses in my village," she muttered. Benson glanced at her. "You've counted already?" She shrugged. "Poor people calculate fast." He almost smiled. Arrival at the hospital. Soon, the Bentley pulled into the compound of Mercy Care Hospital. Christabel pointed ahead. "That building." They stepped out of the car. Immediately, nurses and security guards stared. Luxury cars didn't visit this hospital often. Christabel walked quickly toward the ward. Benson followed calmly behind her, his expensive shoes echoing on the tiled floor. Inside the room, a weak woman lay on a hospital bed, connected to drips. Christabel rushed to her side. "Mama." The woman slowly opened her eyes. "Christabel, you are back." Her voice was weak. Christabel held her hand tightly. "Yes, Mama." Then she looked toward Benson. "Mama, this is—" She paused. She realized she didn't even know his name. Benson stepped forward politely. "Benson." The woman smiled faintly. "God bless you for bringing my daughter back safely." Christabel scratched her head awkwardly. "Actually, he caught me begging." Her mother looked confused. You were begging? Christabel quickly changed the topic. Mama, don't worry about that now. Just then the doctor entered the room holding a file. He nodded at Christabel. Miss Okoye, we really need to discuss your mother's surgery. Christabel's shoulders tensed. Yes, doctor. The doctor looked at the file seriously. The surgery must be done soon. Her condition is getting worse. Christabel swallowed. How much again? The doctor hesitated before answering. 3 million naira. The room went silent. Christabel looked down. I'm still trying. Her mother squeezed her hand weakly. My daughter, don't worry. But Christabel's eyes filled with tears. I've tried everything, she whispered. I begged family, no one helped. I begged online, they said I was lying. And, today. She looked embarrassed. I went to beg on the street. The doctor sighed sympathetically. I understand, but we cannot delay the surgery any longer. Before Christabel could respond, Benson spoke calmly. Schedule the surgery. The doctor blinked. I'm sorry, I'll pay for it. Both Christabel and the doctor stared at him. Christabel's mouth dropped open. What? Benson looked at the doctor. 3 million, right? Yes, sir. Prepare the surgery immediately. Christabel grabbed his arm. Wait. He looked down at her hand holding his sleeve. Yes? Why are you doing this? Benson shrugged. You were honest. She shook her head. No, I wasn't. I literally lied with fake injuries. He smiled slightly. But you told the truth when it mattered. Christabel stared at him in disbelief. You don't even know me. Benson looked toward the hospital bed where her mother lay weakly. I know enough. He pulled out his phone. Within minutes, he transferred the money. The doctor's phone beeped. His eyes widened. It's confirmed. Christabel gasped. You actually paid? The doctor shook Benson's hand excitedly. Thank you, sir. We will prepare the operating room immediately. The doctor rushed out of the room. Christabel stood frozen. Then suddenly she hugged Benson tightly. He stiffened in surprise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then she quickly stepped back. Sorry, reflex again. Benson cleared his throat. It's fine. Her mother looked at him gratefully. You are a good man. Benson looked away slightly. He wasn't used to hearing that. A new beginning. Later that evening, Christabel walked Benson back to his car. She looked at him seriously. I don't know how to thank you. Benson opened the door of the Bentley Mulsanne. You already did. How? You made me laugh. She blinked. That's all? For now. She crossed her arms playfully. Are you always this mysterious? Benson sat inside the car. Are you always this talkative? She grinned. Yes. For the first time in years, Benson smiled naturally. As the car drove away from Mercy Care Hospital, something inside him felt different, lighter. For 5 years his world had been silent, but somehow a stubborn girl with fake bandages had just brought life back into it. And neither of them knew yet that this was only the beginning of a story that would change both their lives forever. 3 days after the surgery, the atmosphere at Mercy Care Hospital had changed completely. Christabel Okoye sat beside her mother's hospital bed, carefully peeling an orange. Her mother looked much stronger now. The surgery had been successful. God used that man for us, her mother said softly. Christabel nodded. Yes, Mama. She still couldn't believe it. A stranger from traffic had paid 3 million naira without hesitation. Her phone suddenly buzzed. Unknown number. She answered cautiously. Hello? A familiar, calm voice replied. Have you finished your orange? Christabel froze. Wait, how do you know I'm eating orange? It's the loud chewing. Her eyes widened. Benson? Good afternoon, Christabel. Benson Cole sounded relaxed as usual. She jumped up from her chair. My mother is fine. The surgery worked. I know, he said. I spoke with the doctor this morning. She paused. You spoke with the doctor? Yes. Why? To check if my investment survived. Christabel frowned. My mother is not your investment. Relax, Benson replied calmly. It was a joke. She muttered under her breath. Rich people and dry jokes. Benson chuckled. Are you free this afternoon? Christabel hesitated. Why? I want to see you. Her heart skipped slightly. Why? Must there always be interrogation? Yes. He sighed dramatically. Fine, I want to discuss something with you. Like what? You'll see when you get here. Get where? My house. Christabel nearly dropped the phone. Your house? Yes. She crossed her arms. Sir, I don't visit strange men in their houses. You entered my car. That was emergency, he smirked. Then consider this. Another emergency. The shock. 2 hours later, Christabel stood outside massive iron gates. Her mouth slowly opened. Jesus Christ. In front of her stood a mansion that looked like it belonged to a movie star. The security guard opened the gate after confirming her name. She walked slowly inside the compound. Palm trees lined the driveway. Luxury cars were parked neatly. Range Rover, Mercedes, and a shining black Bentley Mulsanne she immediately recognized. Her heart began beating faster. Wait, she whispered. Who exactly is this man? The front door opened. A house manager greeted her politely. Miss Christabel? Yes. Mr. Benson is waiting for you. She followed the woman inside. The moment she stepped into the living room, she froze. The interior looked like something out of an international design magazine. Polished marble floors. Tall glass windows letting sunlight flood the room. Cream leather sofas, decorated with colorful Ankara pillows. Modern African sculptures sat on glass stands. A huge chandelier hung from the high ceiling like a floating galaxy of lights. Christabel slowly turned around. This house is not a house, she whispered. This is a government building. A voice behind her replied calmly. Overreacting again? Benson Cole stood there wearing a simple white shirt and black trousers. He looked relaxed. Too relaxed. Christabel pointed around the room. You live here? Yes. Alone? Yes. She stared again. Wait, what do you do for a living? Benson walked past her and sat on the sofa. Business. What kind of business? Several. She squinted suspiciously. You're not a criminal, right? He raised an eyebrow. Why? Because only criminals and politicians have houses like this. Sit down, Christabel. She slowly sat opposite him, still looking around. Your TV alone can pay my school fees. You already graduated. Then my future children's school fees. Benson smiled. You calculate money a lot. Because I don't have it. They both laughed slightly. The offer. Benson leaned forward. I want to offer you a job. Christabel blinked. A job? Yes, with me. She immediately looked suspicious. Wait first. What? This job, is it legal? Benson sighed. Yes. Is it moral? Yes. Does it involve kidnapping? Christabel. Okay, fine. She relaxed. What kind of job? I run several foundations and companies, Benson explained. I need someone smart and honest to help manage one of my charity projects. Christabel's eyes widened. Charity? Yes. Helping people? Yes. She smiled slowly. That sounds nice. But there is a condition. Her smile disappeared. Here it comes. You must stop begging on the street. She gasped dramatically. Sir, that was a one-time business. He crossed his arms. Good. She leaned forward. Wait, how much is the salary? Benson looked amused. You negotiate fast. I'm Nigerian. He laughed again. Fair enough. He mentioned the amount. Christabel jumped up from the sofa. Ha! She stared at him. That salary can feed my entire village. Benson chuckled. So, do you accept? Christabel looked around the mansion again. Then she looked at him and smiled. Yes, Mr. Benson. Good, but neither of them realized something was already happening, something neither had planned. Because slowly, quietly, the lonely billionaire who hadn't loved in 5 years was beginning to fall in love with the girl who once faked an accident in traffic. And Christabel was about to discover that loving a billionaire came with secrets she never expected. Christabel thought her life had finally changed. A good job, her mother recovering, and the mysterious billionaire who saved her when she had nothing. But what Christabel doesn't know yet is that entering the world of Benson means entering a life filled with secrets, powerful enemies, jealous rivals, and a past that Benson has been hiding for years. Why did Benson really choose her? Is it just kindness? Or is there something deeper behind his interest in the girl who once faked an accident in traffic? And what will happen when the high society elites of Lagos discover that the billionaire's new assistant used to beg on the streets. In the next chapter, Christabel will step into Benson's company for the first time, and someone there is already planning to destroy her. Don't miss what happens next. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next exciting chapter of Benson and Christabel's story.